Oh, I always get narcolepsy and necrophiliacs mixed up, which is really bad.
Yeah, there's quite a bit difference besides starting with an N.
Oh my god.
What were you doing? I was just taking a nap with my pants off on this dead person. But
oh my god.
We are the people of Mercury. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. These views reflect one planet and one planet alone.
Hello, and welcome to Mercury's Cast. I am your host, Travis Montgomery. Today I am joined by Darius. He returns after a lovely presidential election that we had. We got to pick his brain before that. And Alexander is not here tonight. He is doing something else, obviously. But it's good, so me and Darius get to catch up a little bit. Darius, how are you feeling tonight?
Doing great, man.
Doing great. Good to hear. What did you think about the UFC that happened this last weekend?
It was pretty much a circus. I mean, sadly, a lot of the fights were good. The fights were pretty fun to watch, but the breast implants and not going to be able to fight, that whole fiasco, and then the weigh-ins with Cormier. I mean, what was going on there?
Right.
And then, during the fight, the illegal, not legal knees from Musasi.
Yeah, that was kind of a shit show.
It's just like a big, giant clusterfuck of stuff,
But the women ended up fighting anyways, right?
Yeah, they cleared her. I guess it was some old boxing rule. I don't know. Who knows, man?
I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to use your fake boobs as a weapon?
I think they're concerned about her safety getting punched in them or something, maybe the bag exploding. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be a UFC first, right? Gets kicked right in the chest and her boob just deflates on sight. Yeah.
Yeah, like a undrained cauliflower ear or something.
Yeah.
Did you see that highlight where the dude's ear bursted open and it just like flew up in the air?
Yeah, it was Kimbo, man. Oh, no. The other one, the dude completely lost his ear. It just flew off.
There's a new one out there.
Oh, is there? I saw one where the dude's ear flew off. It was pretty. That was a while ago. And I was just like, what? But ears, there's not much holding your ear on.
No, I think it takes like 5 pounds of a certain direction of pressure to completely rip your ear off. So, welcome to MMA if you have and it's almost like then you have an anchor on the side of your head.
Well, it's like a doorknob to rip it off with,
Exactly.
But I've heard of
Craziness.
people like doing that in fights. It's real. I mean, it's a super nasty thing to do to someone, but you can literally just grab their ear and rip it off. And that's a fight over technique. Nah.
Yeah, unless you're fighting fucking crazy dude like Matt Brown or something.
Yeah.
And then if that guy's still coming after you after that, then you're really in.
All you do in a street
trouble.
fight is everything that's illegal in the UFC. You eye gouge, you nut punch.
I know.
Bite.
I used to think it's like, all right, I'm taking my shoes off, and we're going to go about this like gentlemen.
Yeah, you would hope.
You
Until their friend kicks you in the head while you got them down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually what happened to me when I used to get into fights. The days of the one-on-one were over.
Yeah. There's no...
when I started getting into fights. Because I was like never... And then I got jumped a couple times, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's just not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Especially going out to bars and stuff with people. I mean, you never know who's going to help you.
You don't know who their friends are. You don't know who's standing behind you. You don't know if the guy's got a weapon.
Exactly.
It's just bad, man, all over.
Yeah, or either that or like you do get a good punch on someone and you knock them out, and then they fall over and hit their head on something.
And die.
Yeah. That's why I was always comfortable with the jiu-jitsu, like take them down and choke them out. And if they really pissed you off, then you could break one of their arms or something.
Yeah, but you don't have the risk of killing them, by choking them. So a lot of people get scared of that, but you have to hold on to that choke, I think, for a solid 2 minutes or more, which is just not going to happen unless you are intentionally really trying to kill someone. But I mean, your arms get pretty tired holding on to those chokes, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't take much to
to put someone out, no.
Right. And
I put a few people out on request. They wanted to see what it felt like.
Yeah, we used to do that as kids to ourselves. You know, you breathe real hard and then you
got
hold
that from your brother, dude. He was doing that crap in grade school constantly. I think he had half
a little rush.
I think he had half the school doing it.
He had our whole family doing it. I know that much.
I couldn't do it. I wouldn't go out. I don't know. But yeah, you start hyperventilating, start breathing in and out real quick, and then do it, then block the blood. Yeah.
And then you start fishing out. I mean, I've seen people fish out worse than that than they have getting choked out in the UFC. Like
flopping around.
Yeah, like Nick used to like just flop around and hit his head on shit and come up and be like, "What the hell happened?" Or you're supposed to catch someone and you don't really catch them exactly right. They just like they wake up with a big lump on their head, like, "What in the hell?"
You know, I've done jiu-jitsu a ton, and I've seen very few people literally like they went unconscious. But this one guy, he would never tap. So we used to see him go out quite often. He would snore. He'd start snoring.
Great. It happens. I got a little piece of cauliflower in my ear. I don't know if it's from wrestling or if it's from jiu-jitsu, but I wear that thing like a badge of honor.
I got it in my ear.
It's really small.
It's just not super. If you look close on my ear, and you're like, oh yeah, his ear's kind of jacked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drained it every time. One of them I barely got in time though. It like nothing was coming out, and then all of a sudden it gushed. One I had done by a doctor, and that was painless, man. But he put some kind of numbing agent on my ear, and the next time I had my neighbor do it. I don't know if you remember Cliff. He used to live across the street from me. And he got a surgical needle from a buddy because you need a big gauge needle to drain it. I was like, yeah, man, I've done this before. I don't feel like going to the doctor. Just do it. And we're sitting there in my kitchen. And dude, that needle pierced. And since it's right next to your eardrum, I heard it. And it was just like skin tearing. Yeah, it was the nastiest sound. And then all of a sudden, dude, pain hit like I've never felt before, man. It was so painful. And my body temperature just shot up. And I was just on fire. And I was like, man, that little numbing agent that doctor used did a lot.
Went a long way.
You do that stuff raw, dog? Oh, man.
Holy shit.
Hadn't he drained it? It was a big gauge needle, though. But, yeah, man, when that thing went boom, I was like,
Yeah, you wouldn't think. I mean, there's not a lot of blood going through there. There's not a lot of nerve endings. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm no doctor, obviously, but you'd think that it's just cartilage and stuff.
Well, the funny thing is you do jiu-jitsu a lot of time. You go through a lot of pain getting out of submissions, and you kind of get a threshold for it where the more you do it, the longer you can hold out on different moves. Not the smartest thing, but other different types of pain are different. Like that pain was completely different from getting arm locked or getting
or like
even getting punched in the face. It's just different. And then I got really burned bad on my foot. And I was sitting there, and the pain had it hit, and I go, I think I'll be able to take it, you know? Man, that was a whole different type of pain, man.
What kind of burn?
Hot coolant from an engine hit my ankle and just basically took my skin off on my ankle. And, man, the pain from that was, it was pretty it was different. We'll just put it
how did hot coolant from an engine get onto your leg?
There was an engine on a test stand that was running, and this idiot didn't tighten the hose clamps, which he was reminded to.
So wait, hold on. There's an engine suspended in free air because I don't know what you're talking about.
It's on a metal stand, so it's secure like it's going to be in a car. But this is how you check for leaks and check oil pressure and stuff before you put it in the car. Then you have to yank it back out. And it was running on there, and I just happened to be walking by it when the hose blew. I wasn't even working on it. Yeah, and it's funny because when the instant that hot coolant hit my leg, I took off running, but it was completely instinct. It's like when you see a deer get shot and it takes off hauling ass. That's what humans do too.
Oh yeah.
And I fell down because the coolant's slippery, and as soon as I hit the ground, I was calm and collected, and I was like, "All right, let's see the damage." And I pulled my sock down, and my skin went with it.
Ooh.
And I went, you get a little burn and it hurts for like a long time. I was like, yeah, this is going to be pretty painful for a while.
Oh, Lord.
But driving to the hospital, oh my God, the pain started setting in. It was bad.
Yeah, so you were in shock for a little bit. You had the adrenaline going.
Yeah, once that cut off, that didn't last very long, and yeah, the pain hit. Woo! So they gave me some painkillers, and the painkillers made me sicker than the pain I was experiencing.
How did they administer it?
There was some pills they gave me or whatever, and then they changed it, and I tried the other pills, and they also made me nauseous. And so I was like, man, I couldn't take them. And then there was another pill, but it was going to come out of pocket expenses at that point. It was real expensive. I said, I'll forget it, man. And then a month later, I was in a lot of pain still. And I went back and took some of those pills, and I was in pain again from taking the pills. So I chucked the pills down the toilet. Don't be stupid.
How long ago was this?
Oh, man.
How old were you?
20 years ago?
Huh.
Yeah, I couldn't do jiu-jitsu. And I kept trying to go back, and I was wearing socks, and then my skin would tear, and it would bleed through the socks. It's like, oh, I guess I'm out for a couple more weeks.
Right.
Until it heals. But it fully healed, and it doesn't look too bad.
Holy crap.
But I don't even remember what degree it was. It might have been, I don't know if it was second, first, or what. But
I heard they're starting to use tilapia skin on burn. I just saw, I don't know how true it is, but people were ranting and raving about these third-degree burns, over a large portion of skin that they're using fish skin for it, which I thought was pretty interesting. Kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a fun little fact.
Yeah, I'll remember that next time.
Next time you burn yourself, just go fishing.
Wasn't the first time I burned myself, wasn't the last, but not fun.
Crazy. Somehow I think I remember that story, but maybe not. Yeah, I think there could be a way I remember that story.
Yeah, I was off my feet for a while. Couldn't walk.
Well, anyways, speaking of being in the hospitals, your boy over here got diagnosed with gout last month.
You?
Yeah.
What the hell you eating, man? Pork every night?
Apparently not the right stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I got it. It wasn't terrible, but it was not pleasant either.
I've heard that a beer can aggravate gout.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
I've also heard that it's extremely painful.
Yep. I would classify that as extremely painful.
Where did you get it? Where did the pain occur?
My toe, my foot. The front ball and the big toe. But it was weird because I had an injury on that foot already. I had, the equivalent to dropping something on the top of my foot. And I had pretty much an injury for like a year or year and a half. Still kind of never went away. So I thought just like it was one of those things where the foot's so complex and complicated that I had hurt one part of my foot and it had just
traveled.
Traveled because my foot was making up for the injury part. And I'm like, damn, I'm messed up. And then one morning I woke up and I'm like, all right, there's something wrong here. And I went to the ER instead of making a doctor's appointment. And then I got my answer. They're like, yeah. So.
How did they determine that? Through a blood test or?
Blood test, yep.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Uric acid. There's something called uric acid in your blood.
Okay.
And you get a lot of it from eating certain types of meat.
Yeah.
And so I've changed my diet pretty drastically. No more red meat.
Oh.
I know. Cut back on a lot of the beer stuff. And I've lost 5, maybe 10 pounds now. I got up to, I was 215. Believe it or not.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. I was 215 when I was in the doctor. Well, actually, when I was in the doctor's office, I was like 219 when I first got there. I'm like in the morning 209 now, probably.
Okay.
But I mean, it's all. I'm not really fat anywhere. I'm just I don't know, a little bloated. But I do construction all day long. I'm doing heavy stuff, so I drink a bunch of water. And part of the thing with gout is being dehydrated. There was a time where I kind of gave up on, like for a week or two, where I gave up on my water regimen. And some other things were going on that week where I wasn't really living the healthiest lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
And then I just got it. I don't know. It was like carne asada burritos and beer and no water. And there you go.
I'll tell you what, someone once told me about water being connected to cramps. And at the time, I used to get my calf would lock up. And I drank quite a bit of water, but yeah, if you stop drinking water, you get a lot of cramps, man. Different joints of your body and stuff. But a real bad one is you drink beer, you'll get fucking all kinds of joint aches.
Huh.
Yeah, and when you stop and just take it easy, you'll notice like you're more lubricated. But man, because people always, when you drink beer, drink water. When you drink beer, dude, let me tell you, dude, beer displaces water. Or alcohol displaces water. I promise you that.
Right, but it's still, you got it does not hurt still to drink water. I mean,
actually, it's pretty rough on your organs when you drink a lot of water because it filters everything. And so people, they came up with this, drink half your body weight in ounces. That's total BS. That's not from any medical facility. Someone came up with that shit. It ran like wildfire. That's too much water. They say the only time to drink is when you're thirsty.
Whoa.
And so, because I was doing that, I can drink any amount of water I want. I can drink more than recommended easily. I can down water nonstop all day. You're pissing like a racehorse constantly, but I can do it. But then I read that, and I was like, oh, man, they're like, yeah, and you're flushing out your organs because they have to filter it. And I was like, ooh. It's like, no. So I backed off big time. Obviously, when it's hot out and I'm working out, yeah, you're thirsty. Drink. That's cool. But people overdrink, and what happens is your body gets used to that, and you start have to piss even more. Your body's constantly flushing itself, and that's how they cut weight. And I don't know if you knew about that. They keep drinking progressively more water, and then they stop, and then your body dumps all its water. That's how you cut weight. I mean,
I did know that they drink like a gallon of water a day.
Near the end, yeah.
I drink like a half a gallon a day at least, more than that.
I could easily drink, 64 ounces of water. That ain't no problem,
But yeah, everything that I've been told, especially because I like to drink beer, is that drink more water, and that it'll keep you hydrated.
Yeah, you got to drink less beer. That's the only way to do it.
Well, I am doing that, but
like I said, you'll notice a big difference in like your joints and stuff. I promise you, man. Because I'm pretty in tune with my body, and when I drink beer, I can feel it.
Yeah.
And when I don't, yeah, I feel okay. I can bend down, not all achy, and shit's not popping every time I get up.
Yeah, you got 10 years on me too, so I got 10 more years. Just kidding.
That's that body up. Yep.
No, I know. I'm kind of it's a message. Obviously, it's some kind of, the universe is telling me something.
Well, your body will tell you.
Yeah, my foot is telling me. My foot was telling me.
Your brain will lie. Your brain will lie to you, but your body will tell you what's right. Like when you're sore and hurt, like tell that brain to shut up. Listen to your left arm.
Yeah, I was telling somebody my feet are literally being held to the fire now.
Yeah.
Oh man, ain't life grand?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's move on to more exciting stuff. Then
yeah, the whole Mousasi and Weidman having a rematch, I don't see the need. He won. It was clear.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say that but it's also easy to say that if they would have started from the. All right, for anyone that doesn't know what's going on here, the Gegard Mousasi was fighting Chris Weidman, and the referee stopped the action from what he thought was a couple illegal knees due to the rule of a downed opponent, and having both hands on the floor equals a downed opponent. Mousasi actually pulled him up, and the knees were legal. But the ref stopped the fight because he thought they were illegal, and went and he ran and Mercury, that's his name, right? No, that's who was refereeing.
Yeah.
He ran out of the octagon and actually viewed an instant replay.
Well, they have refs on the side. On the outside, there's two of them.
Yeah, I think
I didn't even realize that. I didn't even know they had that going on.
Right there.
Yeah, and they have refs on the outside, for a specific reason. And replay is legal. They determined that too because they're saying the replay was illegal to view it. It's like no. And from what I understand, he just didn't see his hands come up when he took those knees. He thought they were still on the ground. So he gave his ruling from what he saw.
And from what I'll take from what Joe Rogan said is that Dan Mercury is 6'5", and the knees are happening a foot off the ground.
Yeah, it's probably hard. It probably looks like his hand's on the ground, dude, at full speed. I mean,
but Mercury has to be in a position to stop the action. He can't be on his hands and knees like a WWE referee, like checking the action or whatever.
Yeah, and the camera angle they showed when his hands came up, I mean, that camera was like really low. So, you could clearly see because of that camera angle. But any other angle at full speed, I mean, that's going to be pretty tough to see.
I say at least, and Chris Weidman dug himself a hole by acting like, "Oh, I'm all messed up," and those were illegal knees.
Exactly.
Like he should not have pulled all that.
He was looking for a way out, man. And I mean, I'm not in his shoes, and I've seen other really good fighters do it when they're in trouble. I mean, you just took some hard shots and you see a way out. It's tough.
Another thing with him is he turning into a one-round fighter? Because he looked good that first round. He looked good the first round versus Yoel Romero.
Why was he so tired when he came out? I don't
get it either. That's the first thing I said. I'm like, oh my God, he's tired again. Because I think I had 25, 30, maybe more than that.
And Mousasi looked like he. Yeah, and Mousasi looked tired, but he was tired because he was given, it was a hard fight for him.
But when Weidman gets tired, he starts getting kneed in the fucking head. That's what happens.
Well, he just falls apart, yeah.
He starts throwing wheel kicks that, or I think maybe he wasn't tired when he threw that one against Luke Rockhold, which, let's be clear, he hasn't really looked the same since that beating.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he looked fantastic in round one. I was biting my nails in round one. I couldn't believe. I mean, that was good. It was back and forth.
Yeah.
Back and forth. And I was just biting my nails. He clearly won the round. But, man, you just didn't know if it was going to get ended, quick.
And he got mount on Mousasi. Mousasi did a great job of the backdoor escape right there.
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful.
He sure as hell wasn't stopping those takedowns like he said he was going to. He was just getting. Yeah.
And I disagree. I think they should go for a rematch. I think that's.
Yeah, man. They need that division's so messed up. Just move on. I mean, he's on a 3-skid row. Just move on, man. There's too many people at the top.
All right, but check it out. This is the new exciting division in the UFC right now. There is like 5, 6, 7, 8 people that could possibly be champion within the next couple of years.
I mean, you got Romero, you got Jacare,
Kelvin Gastelum.
Oh my God, you got Buzz. I can't believe that, dude. What?
And there's still
that guy's been through so much that guy's been through with the weight cuts and all that and the BS, and he's so good, man. And he dealt Belfort. So good. He dealt Belfort so wrong. Oh, man, he whipped up on him.
And Belfort's my boy, too.
Yeah.
I just had to throw a bet on Belfort just for principle.
Always will be. I mean, you look at the people Belfort's fought, man, that career is insane. He's fought every tough guy that's ever gotten in there.
And if Dan Henderson didn't retire, look at the tear he was on.
Oh, gee. Yeah, that guy's fought everybody, man.
So there's a legitimate good handful of people at middleweight. I think that is a division to watch coming up. And now they got GSP returning. Who knows? He could smash some heads.
Yeah, I felt Anderson beat Bisping when he needed him, and they stopped that fight. Do you remember? He was asking for his mouthpiece, and he flipping nailed him.
I thought it was over too. Yep.
And Phil was throwing his hands up. I thought it was over. I was like, dude, he won. And they're like, oh, no. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
And let's not forget Yoel Romero. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God, that knee from – dude.
That
all the way from the cellars of hell up to the heavens, man. And you see they broke down that fight. He planned that move. He planned it.
I just watched it again, and he was waiting for that one moment.
He was waiting. That guy is patient. Because it's like, dude, do something. Do something. Like, this fight's boring. Oh, my God. What did you just do?
Yeah, and Chris gets tired, and he goes for those lunging outside takedowns. Like, you're a D1 All-American wrestler. You know better than that.
He lulled him into it, though, man.
You know better than that.
Strategically lulled him into that move and waited.
I think he's the guy to beat, and I think he beats Bisping. Not easy, because anytime you think that someone's going to beat Bisping easily, it's never easy with Bisping. But
Bisping's just going through wars, man. I mean, you look at his face; he doesn't even look the same anymore, man.
Yeah, his eye is like
that's from Belfort. That's from Belfort belted in that one. Dude.
Oh, TRT Belfort. He's my favorite fighter probably ever.
Yeah, Joe Rogan says that. He's got it right. The scariest guy.
Dude.
When he's on the stuff, forget about it, man.
Yeah. Why not?
He is an animal.
He was that close, and Vitor's probably my favorite. I don't know who my favorite fighter, if I had to pick one, it's really hard. It's really hard to even put in Mount Rushmore.
Belfort had John Jones in that arm lock when they fought. Remember that? Yeah,
a lot of people would have tapped because he dislocated his arm in that bout.
Yeah, but when you're high on coke, you don't tap.
He ain't feeling shit.
He ain't feeling shit. What's that? That ain't nothing.
Oh, man.
But, dude, yeah, I mean, what he did to Chris when they fought, he almost took it, It's like, damn, man.
Or what about him wheel kicking Luke Rockhold?
Oh, my God.
Oblivion? Like, that would not happen.
That's so nasty. That kick. Whack! It's like
Rockhold took 1.5 steps and the wheel kick was already coming, and there's no way he can get out of the way.
I was amazed how good Rockhold looked in some of his other fights, though, man. When he beat Chris, God, he looked like he was fighting on a hurt foot. I was like, this guy's amazing. On the ground, he was a flipping wizard, man. And then his stand-up is good, too. I mean, he's like you said, any of those guys could be champs. All those guys, man. Line them all up. You can't bet on them. You don't know.
Right. I think it's going to be very interesting this year, next year. There's not going to be no DJ to emerge from any of these guys. I think they're going to, play hot potato with the belt.
I think GSP wins that fight, though. He's out of the division. He's going for another division. I do not see him fight any of those guys.
He's not going to fight Yoel Romero.
Hell no.
Because he's been avoiding that question like the plague once the media gets a hold of him. Like, what are your plans now? Well, we have plans, but we
won't be Romero. I am not impressed.
I talked to my team, and we go from there.
They still haven't put a date on his fight with Bisping. He still ain't signed that shit, right?
I know, that's weird.
What is going on in the UFC, man? And Rumble retiring? Oh. I mean,
I did call that one.
You see that guy on the card, you're going to watch it straight up. I mean, I used to be that way with Anderson Silva, too. It's like, no matter what, he's on the card, I'm going to watch it. Because you don't know if he shows up all crazy doing all his magic tricks, it's going to be fun.
Well, same thing with Tank Abbott.
I was just going to say that. You got the words out of my mouth, dude. Win or lose, you want to see him walk in there. It just like right off the bar stool into the cage. Right back to the bar. Where is he at?
He's better take him out because he's going to take you out.
Yeah. That dude could throw down, man.
Yeah, back in the day, he was like. It's funny to think that he was like the king of MMA for some reason. If you think about
because of his record,
just like being the top dog at some point of MMA. And if you try and compare it to today's world of MMA, where any heavyweight in the UFC today would probably beat him just by taking him down.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to think that he was like the most feared dude.
Well, it's just those knockouts were brutal, man. He knocked out Nailmark, thought he killed him. I thought literally he killed him. I thought he broke his neck like a chicken, man. The way he went down. What he did was it Matua. That guy still stutters to this day, I think, from that fight.
Really?
Yeah, because he was taking shots when he was unconscious, and that's how you get brain damage.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen Gary Goodridge in interviews lately?
No.
Oh, my God, dude, it's so sad.
Wait, hold on. Before you say that, he's actually agreed to have me interview him.
Dude, I saw him walking down the street once out here in Rancho Cucamonga and lost my mind. Outside of Chipotle. And it's like a street you kind of don't walk down, but it's just like busy with cars. And I saw him walk, and I said, that's Gary Goodridge, man. He was just fighting in Pride like last week. What's he doing down here? But that was a guy who was exciting to watch. Shit.
From what I understand, he's kind of the poster boy for the CTE.
Yeah.
And I think he's even might be involved in a lawsuit or I don't know.
Dude,
I really want to talk with him. He's agreed to come on and have me interview him, so I really need to get on that because he said so.
Yeah, I saw the interview just recently with him, and I was just in shock. I was in awe. I was like, oh, man, dude.
Yeah. I mean, let's go down the line. Forrest Griffin.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard someone talking about Quentin when he interviews now. He's like always at a loss for words and you know what I mean? And that guy's never at a loss for words if you know him. So but I mean, someone told me, was what? You think getting hit in the head's good for you? Like, oh yeah, I guess when you put it that way. I mean, getting punched and kicked in the face isn't good for you. That's not healthy.
They, in the 90s, they just didn't know.
No. Oh, the football deal. Yeah.
They just didn't know that how bad it was for you. And personally, I think football is a lot worse than MMA or boxing.
Well, it's that impact is just unreal, man. Those guys are just getting bigger, faster, and stronger.
And it's cool that they put some of the rules in place. But if you go like before the punt return rule came, the fair catch, or even just like the defenseless receiver, he's looking at the ball the whole time.
Oh, let's get blindsided.
And he's not worried about the guy right in front of him, and they're both like on this collision course, and only one of them knows about it. And the knockouts, I mean, those knockouts scare me more than almost any knockouts that I see in MMA.
Well, what I always like about MMA, at least they're standing in front of you.
You're right.
Like every time you see a video, a lot of times when people get knocked out, it's because they're not looking at them or they're not paying attention. And then you've seen a boxer when the bell rings and they put their hands down, they take a little shot and they go down. It's like when you're not prepared to be punched, you go out quick, pretty easy, especially if you don't see it coming. And that's when, in boxing, when you get hurt, is because maybe their gloves are blocking your vision or you're looking the wrong way. The punch you don't see is the one that hurts.
Yeah,
that's the one that gets you, man.
It happens all the time in MMA too, and then I'll be watching fights with somebody who'll be like, "Well, that one didn't look like that bad, but he was looking over here, and the punch came this way, and he didn't see it."
Yeah.
And I guess your brain gives your body time to prepare for it if you see it.
Yeah. Which is funny because in a car wreck, you're better off not seeing it coming, supposedly, because you tense up. But I guess the same doesn't go for punches.
Sounds like a scientific experiment that needs to be done.
I won't be conducting the testing.
All right, I'll be the volunteer.
Yeah.
So speaking of not seeing punches coming, and Rumble Johnson doesn't seem to have that problem, even if people do see his punches coming. And him retiring was just super weird. It's don't quite know what to make of it. Although before that fight, I was like, the fight that everyone wants to see, the fight that I wanted to see, even though I knew he was a quitter, and I was on record saying that before the second DC fight, and even the first one, I was like, him versus John Jones would be very interesting if he knocks out Daniel Cormier. But he didn't even go for the knockout.
Yeah, Jones didn't look the same against OSP, if you ask me. That wasn't the Jones we're used to seeing. He won, but that's not the John Jones I've seen ever fight before, you know?
And, well, his defense to that, was that his last fight?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. In his defense, him and his training camp are avid tape watchers and game planners, and they say that they find people's tendencies and then they work off of that. And what they said about OSP was that he does everything wrong. He doesn't have any set patterns, and he usually wins by doing something that he's not really supposed to do in a situation, and then he finds success and knocks people out that way. When he's like, should be throwing a...
I would say that's pretty true. I mean, he doesn't stand right. He doesn't protect himself right. You know?
That was his argument in the OSP fight, why he looked that way.
Yeah.
I'm still a believer that John Jones is probably, other than Demetrius Johnson, the MMA best right now.
Yeah, it seemed to me that Jones used to be faster, though. Even when he fought Alexander, he looked a little bit slower to me.
I think he was hungover when he fought Alex.
He might have been. He was moving.
I think he was. If you look at it, his eyes were all puffy, and he was all. I don't know. I think he partied the night before. I really believe that.
Screw it, yeah.
But I really also think that he lost the fight.
I thought he won. I thought he had Alexander really hurt.
In the fifth round, I think it came down to the fifth round, and Alex landed more, and he landed the harder shot. That was my opinion on it.
Yeah. But that guy's still in the mix, so Rumble sure handled him when they fought. Good God, man.
Oh, I know. Oh, Alexander hopped up, and he didn't go out, but he couldn't see anything.
Well, then Alexander handled Jimmy Manuel or whatever.
Right.
The English dude, he handled him. And that guy's good, but he's got to get his hands on you.
Yeah, you know? He's kind of one-dimensional.
Exactly.
A puncher with some kicks type dude.
Yeah, he's definitely got some power and some speed to him, though.
Right. And, I mean, DC, that falls right into his...
Oh, yeah, that's his total, yeah. I mean, that's takedown city. Takedown, ride him out. I mean, I don't think anybody rides anyone better than Kane. Kane gets on someone, dude, and there's just no getting up.
Right.
That dude will sit on you and lay on your back, and you are not going anywhere.
Unless you're in Mexico City and you have not been training in Mexico City, then that could be
what's
problematic.
sad? I don't think we're ever going to see him make a comeback, man. I think that's it. I don't think we're going to see the same thing.
That whole gym goes way too hard.
Yeah.
So, anyways, are you still working off of your investments and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I've heard that people that are into investments since Trump has been in office have been doing pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not affected by that one, but
from what I heard, and I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't have any crazy investments into the stock market. But from what I heard was that the people with the big money never knew when Obama was going to raise the interest rates out of nowhere, and that when Trump came in, that there was a smaller chance of him just out of nowhere raising the interest rates, and so a lot of people started putting up their money for stuff.
Well, I mean, definitely the stock market's gone through the roof, as soon as Trump got in. I mean, I saw that. I didn't see it coming, but, I saw it happening. Yeah, it was just climbing like crazy, man.
Yeah. But the scary thing about that is what goes up must come down.
Yeah, but it doesn't come down as far as it was usually. It may come down, but it doesn't crash back down to 30 years ago type levels and shit like that. People make a lot of money, man. But
well, that's good.
I got out of them. I got taxed heavily on what I did, on what you make, and and what you lose, you can claim as a loss as many years as you want. So, but I'm not a trained stockbroker, so I stay away from it. It worked for me for a little bit. I made a lot of money, but I think I got lucky. So,
well, I would care to differ.
It was the roulette table, and I won. That was it, and I walked away.
So, what else are you doing? Any kind of work now, or
lifting weights, working on the dart?
Really?
Yeah, been working on it.
Old school dart.
Yep, working on it pretty much nonstop. But
really, Damon's dart?
Yep.
Holy shit! You got to send me some pictures of that.
Got it registered last year and just been working on it. Rebuilt the carburetor a couple weeks ago. I got pictures of it. I'll probably put it up on Facebook.
Yeah, man, tag me. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Darius was best friends with my brother Damon, who is RIP right now. I was thinking the other day when we used to go to the track. I believe it was in Pomona.
It could have been, or Terminal Island in Long Beach.
The straight quarter track.
Yeah, both of them were quarter mile. Yeah.
I don't know. I was too young to really know the difference. But I think we raced one time. You and I was in the car in the dart with Damon, and you were in the Roadrunner. And I think you won.
Oh yeah, I definitely would have won.
Do you still have the Roadrunner?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's in the garage.
How the hell do you keep up with all these vehicles?
I don't. They all need help.
You just harbor them.
Yeah. I mean, really, the Roadrunner still runs. It's just sitting in the garage. But
that's cool. Does it still have the same old light blue paint on it and the white?
That was who was that? Nick's guy you went to high school with? He had a blue Roadrunner. Mine's yellow on primer. But
no, the dart.
Oh, the dart. Yeah, light blue. Yeah.
Nice. They don't make them with like that anymore. It's solid metal.
It's funny is driving it around now, people, and it's a mess right now. It needs to get paint. It needs everything. And people are like, cool car, man. I'm like, really? Like, it looks like a wreck. And the funny thing is it's younger people.
Huh.
Before I used to drive around, people used to go, I used to have a dart. Oh, I love that car. It was older people all the time. Yep. But now it's like the kids look like they're 18 or 20. And like, I guess they're into old cars now. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's the damn hipsters.
Yeah, but they fucking stare at the car and honk at me and do all kinds of stuff. I'm like, really? I thought at first they were making fun of me or something. I was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess
go ahead.
Yeah, no. The hipsters definitely. I think it's they're rewinding a little further back. These days.
Well, we always had that car look like it was slow, but it wasn't. And I was gassing it up, and this lady, she was a little bit older than me, came up to me. Oh, I used to have one of these. I love the car. It was all dependable. And when I was leaving the gas station, it was right there on Gridley Road and South Street. We used to have that Arco.
Right.
And I came out of the driveway when I was leaving, and she was there in her car, and I did a big burnout right there on the street. Everywhere. So fishtailing up the street. And I got caught at the light. And here she comes. The lady, she pulls up next to me. She goes, my dart didn't run like that. I started laughing.
Yeah, I bet it didn't.
Yeah, but we still always do that, man. Oh, dude, big old burnout. People come to like, what the hell do you have under the hood?
Good Lord. Yeah, that you guys were doing a good job. I still don't know that much about car engines, Maybe someday I will.
Oh,
but
man.
I know you guys were always working on them.
Yep. That car's been through a lot, man.
I can't believe we still have it.
Dude, your sister drove it around all over the world, Brandy. She was always in it. I used to see her on the road in it constantly.
Really?
Yeah, she had the car for a lot of years, man. Parked right there on 183rd. And like Woodruff. Huh. Yeah. See the car all the time. I found a baseball in it. It's probably one of yours.
Well, yeah, we used to play catch. Me and David used to play catch, so probably why you had it in there.
Yeah, because I definitely never had a hard baseball in that car. I had to pull the seats out and like found all kinds of stuff, sunglasses and barrettes, and found a lottery ticket. It wasn't a winner, but
oh, son of a Damon was obsessed with learning to throw a curveball. So we did that for a long time.
I had never seen that guy throw a ball in his life.
Oh no, yeah, he we were into baseball, and he came to the games, and he wanted to learn how to throw a curveball.
That's funny.
Yep. So in closing, because we're reaching a certain time here, when I talked to you before, you said that you were not going to vote for either Trump or Hillary. Did you vote at all?
Oh, no.
Were you surprised when Trump won?
Absolutely. I was blown away. I was so surprised.
Yeah. It was
I couldn't believe it. I was just like surreal.
I know. We had a live podcast that day, and all of us were just like, what the hell is happening? Because it almost seemed like
I don't care what side you're on. I just didn't think that guy could be president or ever be. I mean, the things he says, the thing he's done. I mean, just like, really?
Right. It was like Matt Serra beats George St. Pierre.
Right? When that happened, I was just like, jockeying to get off the ground, man. I was like, you really, man, like, you could get in a fight with John Jones and actually win, maybe. I mean, there's always a chance, right? Like, dude.
Yeah, it was very unlikely. Actually, one of my buddies played, you can gamble on the stuff, and we placed a bet on Donald Trump a couple days, I think the morning of election or the voting day or whatever, and he was only a 5-1 underdog.
Wow.
So that tells you something there, that they knew something that other people didn't. And it turns out a lot of the polling was way off.
Yeah.
I mean, super off. And what do you think? What do you think that goes on in America that could elect somebody like Donald Trump? I mean, obviously, it's something drastic had to happen for most of the American counties. You can't say most of the people because of the electoral college system, which
doesn't. Yeah, it's not the actual votes.
It's not, but it's but you can't have New York and Los Angeles decide for the whole country either. It's a little.
But that's where the majority of people live. I mean,
I know
it's a population thing. I don't think we should have to have equal rights with. Excuse me for anyone in Iowa, but if a lot of people don't want to live there, right? It's the populist vote. It's how many people and who they vote for. I don't get the whole dividing it through the states. This electoral college.
I kind of do. I don't think that people that just because there's more people that live in major cities with common ideas should decide the fate for the rest of the people that live, in middle America.
You mean you like the electoral college, or you dislike it?
I do like it.
Okay.
I don't think we should be run. It's like like a straight democratic republic, I think it's called, where you just count everyone's vote as one.
Well, the funny thing about California, because you see all the stickers for whoever, and this state's already decided so bad that they don't even come here to talk to us. You know what I mean? They don't even come through here. And like people, who's voting for?
I actually voted for Gary Johnson.
You can vote for anybody. It don't matter. In California, your vote's friggin' worthless. I mean, you could say, oh, yeah, but if you don't, and then maybe this and that. But in reality, I mean, it's so lopsided. It's crazy.
Right. San Francisco and Los Angeles are going to decide it every time.
Yeah. It's lopsided, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it was good. It was good talking with you, Darius. Anything else that you would like to share, or
No,
you want to
man.
ask me about?
That's pretty much it, man. I always have stories; those are endless. So
I know. We'll get you on again and tell some more stories. Hey, I just got one of those Nintendo Classics.
okay, what is that?
So it has an HDMI plug, and it plugs obviously into 120 power, but the HDMI goes into your TV, and it's just with a Nintendo controller, and it comes loaded with 30 Nintendo games that has the same graphics.
Oh, I got you. I got one of those for the Atari.
Oh, okay.
And it's got all the loaded games in it, and then it's funny. I have a Super Nintendo, the original ones, with games, and then I have
You still have it from when it was out?
It's actually my girl's. She's had it. That's what she grew up on, and she's better at it than I could ever be. And then I still have a PS2, but I rarely play any of those things, you know. But I have all the old school consoles.
Yeah, I wanted to play Nintendo with my kids just to show them what my childhood was like a little bit.
Little Super Mario Brothers. Little
Some
Duck
Contra,
Hunt, Hogan's
Kung
Alley.
Fu. Dude, you were the one that was beating all the damn Nintendo games.
Me?
And they're hard. They don't make it easy. And there's consequences. You can't just get hit a couple times like in today's PS3 world. Oh, shit, I just got shot 5 times. No,
Well,
you get hit once and you die.
I mean,
You make a wrong jump and you're gone.
you know, me and Damon played a lot of video games. And when we played video games, there was no continues. You beat the game with the 3 lives they gave you. There was no extra lives. There was no put a quarter in and continue. I mean, whoever invented that's super smart because they made way more money.
Yep.
Like, you had to beat that stuff, and you learned by you had to put more quarters in. And it was funny because games were new, and these people that are older than you'd come in with their girlfriend and try and show you up, and you just destroy them because you spent your life on that stupid machine. Like, you want some of this, dude?
Yeah, people are getting pissed.
Little kids breaking you off, you know, but...
There's a Camelot by my house. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
So there's a Camelot by my house. They have the original Street Fighter game in it.
Oh, geez.
And every time I go there, I play. And off of 50 cents, you know, 1 quarter back in the day, I almost got to Balrog. I got Blanca as my last one. You know that last one's always a pain in the ass.
That was one of my favorite characters.
Blanca?
Just a beast, dude. Isn't even human.
I know. I was thinking that's so racist towards Brazilians.
Oh, man. Yeah,
all right, brother. Well, it was good to talk with you.
Good to talk to you, man. We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll catch up again for sure.
All right, Travis. Take care, bud.
All right, you too, man.
See you later.
Have a good one.
You right.